Hey, everybody, it's me, Jonathan Miller, the voice of the Veil, back with another Big Hype podcast brought to you exclusively by our great friends at Boxster, a great platform for promoters boxes to get your tickets from them and ensure that everything is fair and equal. MC Prestige, the event organisation which puts the shine into all of your events, lighting, equipment, sound, everything you will need beyond the ring to ensure that your fans have a great evening. And of course our friends at We Prep UK, one of the UK's leading nutritionists. Matthew, go check him out, he's a fantastic guy. He travels all over the UK delivering his food for all of our athletes. They are all great sponsors, but we have even better people who we need to talk to tonight, who's joining me from his car outside of the gym in Derby somewhere, area. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sajid Abid.
How you doing, my man? Yeah, got it
Good,
bang
man.
on. I'm literally outside the gym in my car in good old Derbyshire, sunny Derbyshire, just to say.
At least the sun
But
is
yeah, all good.
shining.
Yeah,
At
of
least the
course.
sun is
Lovely
shining
day.
after the last couple of nights of bad weather we've had here in the UK. So it's nice to have summer back with us again. I'm going to ask you the same question I've asked everyone else who's come on the podcast, which takes us right back to the beginning and how this all started. So how and why did you get involved in boxing?
Oh, this is okay, cool. So this is a conversation I had with my uncle. He's like, "Look, Sad, you're a bit of a bitch. Let me get you into boxing." So now I'm here, basically. So I
Nice and short, I like it.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, so I used to be pretty good at sports in general, but the thing that really stopped me from getting any better is the fact that I was unfit and severely asthmatic. So my uncle dragged me into boxing, and through boxing, I got fitter. I got better at other sports. I even played football at a decent level, and just stuck with boxing. And I'm here.
I got to ask the question now because a lot of people we've had on the podcast have done other disciplines, levels of football. What level of football was it?
I was playing semi-pro, about a good 10. No, mate, I'm 31 now, coming on to 32. So let's say about 11, 12 years ago. So yeah, it's quite fun. Up until the point they make you train on a regular basis. I'm like, man, I'm just here to kick a ball. I just want to have a bit of fun. So then I kind of just knocked it over the head and decided I want to punch people instead.
Okay, so you weren't because we've had a few other. We've had another guy who's into rugby. He was lovely, great guy, rugby player, but Welshman, of course. And the reason that he stopped playing rugby was because he actually enjoyed fighting more than rugby. So you weren't that type of football, were you?
No, 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 no. No, I'm not a violent person. I don't know if you can tell. I'm quite
Actually, I know that. I
I'm
know you're very
quite
relaxed and
level-headed.
chilled. Look how chilled you are in that car. So that was the first. So how did you? So did you have much of an amateur background? Again,
Oh,
did
mate,
you have an opportunity to do there?
I had one amateur fight. I had one amateur fight. So basically, I started taking boxing a bit more seriously about 17. I had an amateur fight at 18. And then turned pro at 20. So that's literally it. That's literally the start of my boxing career. And I'm here now, 19 professional fights later, still going strong. So yeah.
Still going strong. That's good to get. You've just so nonchalant about the whole 19 fights is quite an impressive target for anyone in the sport, and a good record as well. I think you 16-3. I think
Yeah,
is the
16 and 3.
official one. And there's a bit of a mixed bag in there. You start off as boxers do a number of four rounders. Let's take those off so I can see. So a number of four rounders that you start off with. You put yourself into a deep end and throw yourselves into a couple of tens, and then you end up with a couple of shots, championships
Mm-hmm.
as well. So, do you want to talk us through the career and
Yeah,
how you
of
came to
course,
be in
man.
that situation?
My career's been pretty interesting. Like, so I went from basically fighting, your journeymans from time to time, and then randomly getting a shot in fighting at Saudi Arabia back in 2019. And I was like, listen, this is an opportunity you can't miss on. So I'm gonna take it regardless of the opponent. And the opponent was pretty dangerous. I mean, he's knocked out like 90% of the people he's fought. So me being, me being me, I was like, yeah, I'll take it, man. At the time, my balls are bigger than my brain. So I was like, yeah, fuck it, why not? And to be fair, as much as I joke about that, I don't regret it whatsoever because I've learned some of life's most important lessons, not just as a fighter, but as an individual in general. So I I loved everything about it, even though I lost because I learned so much. And from there, I then went on ticking, ticking, ticking. And then once again, out of nowhere, I got an opportunity to fight in Dubai. And so me being me, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. So took the opportunity, but I made sure I learned from my mistakes, not just from a performance basis, but just going out there and enjoying the moment. Like as nice as it was, I was very nervous in Saudi Arabia. I was there for 4 weeks. I refused to leave my hotel room unless I really needed to. Barely did any sort of networking or talking about. And I look back and I regretted that. So when I got the opportunity to fight in Dubai, oh, you honestly, I made an absolute hoo-ha about it, mate. I enjoyed every moment. I was talking to any Tom, Dick, and Harry, and I made the most of it. And it basically ended in me winning. So don't get me wrong with the four rounders. Up until then, I've only been fighting four rounders. Come back to the UK. Steve, being the amazing manager he is, lined me up a English eliminator for 10 rounds. But at super lightweight, a weight I've never made. I've never weighed that light since I don't know about 17, 18. So done that and going from a four rounder straight to 10 rounder, I'm thinking, yeah, let me just make life as hard as I possibly can. Just add a new weight class onto it as well. And you know what? Let me travel to the guy's back guard. Let me go to his home and fight him as well. So let me just stack as many things I possibly can against me and still go ahead and win. So it was a very fun experience. Fought a good lad in Tom Ansell. Tough geezer. I remember breaking my hand in like the sixth round and thinking, oh, it'll be a long night. Still got like 5 rounds left. So
Yeah.
yeah, fun
Oh
times.
dear. Dear.
Then went to fight Mikey Saki for another eliminator. Wonderful guy. Like the brilliant thing about boxing, like the people you fight are often the nicest people you meet. So yeah, like
I think it's a mental state. I think that that's a mental state afterwards that you've punched each other in the face that much that actually, yeah, just get on with it, man. It's all right. I've got the,
exactly
the animosities and everything else out of his way. I'm sure if other people did that more often, the world would be a better place, perhaps. But don't quote me on that one.
Say that. But yeah, so then bear in mind, so I stayed at super lightweight, had a few more tune-up fights before I fought for the English title. But the older I got, the harder I realized it started to be to make super lightweight. Bearing in mind, I walk around about 76, 77. So then I'm cutting down to 63. To begin with, it was
Big
fine.
drop.
I had no issues. Yeah, so I had no issues. And then it kind of made me realize when every time I turn up to a show and everyone's like, "You're quite big for a super light, aren't you?" I'm like, "I don't think so." Mikey Saki was taller than me. So I never thought much of it. And
Mm.
then fast forward to the English title fight, the weight cut seemed a lot harder than usual.
Mm.
And then the fight itself was a lot harder because I was drained after the fourth round.
Okay.
I should have used that as a learning point, even though my
Yeah.
trainer mentioned that maybe you should step up. But I was like, nah, it's probably just maybe I just let the nerves get to me. Then fast forward to an Umbi Championship fight at super light, and mate, I was a shell of a fighter that I was because I just struggled to make the weight. And then I realized I can't do this weight anymore, man. I'm struggling. I'm killing myself to get down to weight. For what advantage? I'm losing everything good about me, my speed, my power, and it's completely gone when I shift down to that weight. So then we decided to step up to fight at welterweight when it comes to championship fight.
Yeah.
I've yet to have that. I'm waiting for the Midlands fight to be confirmed. And then, yeah, I'll have my first championship bout at welterweight, which I'm looking forward to.
There's a lot in there to talk about. Let's stick with the weight side of it at the moment. You said there, obviously, you're sitting at welter now, and that just felt like a natural. When you were going through that was Tommy Collins, the last super feather that you had. When you
Super
were going
light,
through the super light, sorry, not super feather. Jesus, I made you even lighter.
man, if I cannot make that, I tell you.
Yeah, so I mean, going through that and then coming into that sort of thing when you've had to drop the weight before coming in, and you said you were exhausted, but exhausted into going into it. How does that affect you? How does it affect you physically? Time to think, actually, I've got to watch what you're eating in regards to. I mean, you're obviously going to be careful during camps anyway, but what was going through you? What was actually going through the sort of cut, if you like?
So during that period where I'm actually cutting down to 63, everything somewhat went smoothly until I had to lose that last bit of water weight, and then I think I took a step too far doing that. And I remember the fight where, Like as much as my brain was telling me to do something, my legs and just my body wasn't working. Like I remember thinking to myself, all right, cool, I'm gonna step in and slip one of his shots and land a shot to the body. I just put my head forward. I was like, yeah, go on, just you might as well hit me because the rest of my body clearly doesn't want to work. So take nothing away from Tommy. Fantastic, fantastic fighter, fantastic lad. But I clearly stayed in the weight class way too long. So now I'm stepping up and I'm excited to see how it goes.
Yeah, no, I think again, you've had a couple of tune-up fights within that respect. I don't mean disrespect to the opponents you've had there in Derby and Dunham. Again, great boxers in themselves.
They know what they need to do. At the end of the day, people have their places.
Yeah. So again, just going back to what you said about traveling out to Saudi and out to Dubai, great opportunities. For any boxer to go on the travel situation as well. You said about the two differences between the two and the sort of thing, but what is it like being the away fighter in that respect and away from the UK sale? Because I mean, it's all very well coming down to down the road, down the motorway to someone's to the York Hall or somewhere like that. It's a totally different thing, and when you're in a foreign land, how did you cope with that?
The first time was completely nerve-wracking. Yeah, the first time was very nerve-wracking. I just remember I even sometimes rewatch the fight, and I recall when I'm walking out, I can just see how nervous I am. Like normally, I think there's a ritual me and my cousin joke about. If I don't do my hair before a fight, there's something wrong. There is something wrong. I didn't do my hair. I got some dead ass haircut, and like it was all. It may seem like some small things, but it's all just me. The nerves eating away at me. And I was like, fuck this. It means nothing. And even small things like that, I made sure that I did my hair in the next fight. I was going out talking to everyone. I was enjoying everything because it's like, look, I'm just a simple simple lad from Derby, and I'm getting all these opportunities. Why am I not making the most out of it? So the second time around, I made sure I made the most out of it, and I got a fucking highlight knockout from it. So it goes to show that mentality is a huge, huge thing.
It's again, being away in a different country. Obviously, the food at the hotel. You said you were in a hotel room. You didn't come out of the hotel room in the first one. Was it sort of hard then to maintain nutrition? Was it hard to sort of know where how to sort of things like that, or train even exactly? What was it? What was it like in that respect as well?
Everything was bang on. In that sense, everything was all covered. So this is why I didn't necessarily need to venture out much, because wake up, train, eat, go back. Wake up, train, go eat, come back. So that's why in Saudi, I was very much just like, all right, cool, I just got to do this. It got to a point, the closer I got to the fight, the more I'm like, oh, I can't wait for this to be over. I can't wait for this to be over. Whereas the mind frame when I was in Dubai, I was like, I don't actually want this to be over. I want to make the most out of it. So it makes a world of difference, man.
So you dig deep in your own. Do you do anything to help with your own mental health in that respect? Do you do anything to sort of encourage your personal wellness, or was it just a shift within yourself that you could do?
I'm thankful to have good people like my cousin around me, who have been a massive factor in me doing well in life in general, not just in boxing, but in life, because of the things he's taught, the mentality. It's like, I remember one thing he said to me, right from the get-go when we started working together, is like, listen, if you say you're a professional, doesn't matter whether you're a professional boxer, I don't know, professional chef, professional whatever, when you have that title professional, there's certain things that you need to adhere to. There's certain mannerisms, and there's a certain way you got to carry yourself. And since that, I was like, he's got a fair point. So I owe quite a bit to my cousin, and it's that's kind of helped me fix my mentality when things haven't been going my way.
So yes, I think you nailed it right on there. Again, if you're doing and you're going to focus on it, you're taking on that role, and that's what you're going to focus on and do, rather than half-ass your way through it and kind of if you don't want the role or don't want the title or the job, then let someone else who is willing to do it and step in. And in this situation, you said, exactly. No, I'm not letting anyone else step in. It's me. I've got the opportunity. It's a great opportunity. It was a fantastic opportunity as well, like you said. I sound very much like someone else when I say things like that. So we're up to speed. You're saying you've had 2 warm-up fights now at welter. Was it welter or super welter?
To do super welter.
Super welter.
Yeah, super welter. Because
Yeah,
I'm
157.
I love eating. I love eating. Just got to get out of there. So yeah, I love eating.
And what? So you said something might be on the table. This. So you mentioned a title.
Well, yeah, the board have pushed me forward for the title. It's just dependent on the opponent once he confirms. In fact, no, we're just waiting for bids. That's it. You know how it goes. Just waiting for bids and see what happens. Hopefully, find out mid-June and yeah, go from there. Either way, I'm kind of like I'm in a very good position where I'm boxing for the enjoyment out of it, and not because I need to box. So that makes sense. So I'm quite happy ticking over, waiting for my time, because I'm a full-time professional coach as well. So like, I've got a professional coach's license too. So I'm doing a little bit on the side of that.
So how many? Who are you training with at the moment? Who's in the stable that you're working with at the moment?
So at the moment, obviously I work with Sandy Ryan, helped her win the world title, WC world title. Helped her with her comeback fight before that. I've got a young lad now, Shazad, local pro, and kind of just building him up. I've also got a few lads that I'm looking to turn over, but take my time. I want to take my time because it's one of those things where some of these guys have to understand that turning over and becoming a professional isn't as easy as, you know, all right, cool, I'm become a pro, I'm gonna get a fight, I'm gonna make money. You've also got to build the stuff outside of it, you know, like your profile, right? Your profile, your following, and some of these guys need to understand that the training and fighting is actually the easy side of it all. It's your image, your brand that you got to create. That's actually the difficult thing.
Getting people to buy in, because as you pointed out there, we've had a few on the podcast who have talked about how they spend them, how they afford to box. Because I think a lot of people just assume that it's all covered and it's all paid for and everything else, and that's not quite the way it works at this level. You know, you've got to get out there, you've got to be a bit of a ticket sailor, you've got to be out there, as you say, your personal brand. It's got to be on point so people can invest and want to invest in you as well, so you get the sponsorship deals and sponsorship money that will enable you then not to have to perhaps work. We've had a few plumbers and sparkies and bricklayers and others that are working, grafting day by day, training in the morning, training in the night, and then obviously that's the way they've been able to keep the fight life alive. So you're absolutely right, I think, in that respect. So you're working on a couple of guys to bring them forward and work on that with some others as well.
Yeah, of course.
I think you're spot on, mate. I think you're spot on with that. And beyond that as well, you've got your own gym there as well. Your own PT stuff as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
Is
so
right?
I coach people as well. I'm heavily, you know, focused on just teaching people how to box. Not necessarily the personal training side, getting fit and whatnot. I love teaching how to box, so that's what I heavily focus on. So I do that here in Derby, Ultraflex, fantastic gym, fantastic people, and yeah, I'm literally living in the gym pretty much now. So yeah, so it's all good.
That's why you're outside the gym in your car tonight.
Yeah. I'm just setting up shop for my morning shift. So yeah, I'll be here for a moment.
Get the sleeping bag out and put your head down for a couple of hours. That's fantastic. But what's the end goal though? Where would you like to see this box? Where would you like to see the boxing career go?
As a fighter, or
as a fighter,
even
as a
past
fighter at the
that?
moment, obviously.
Yeah, well,
back
as
to
a
you
fighter,
for a
look,
bit.
yeah, as a fighter, I want to become champion. I know for a fact that if I retire now, even though I've had a fantastic career on one amateur fight, like the things I've done on a single amateur fight, a lot of people will be content by. But I feel like if I don't become a champion, I haven't done myself any justice. Like I've beaten 2 former champions. You know, when it came to me fighting for a title, I kind of messed it up. So I'm like, I have to become a champion before I even think about retiring. So yeah, that's my current focus: become a champion, and then just continue to enjoy the rest of boxing, knowing that if I retire right now, I retire a champion.
Is it just would you be happy with just the Southern, or would you be happy if it was a bit more
Obviously, I
an
want more.
English or
I want
a Commonwealth?
to.
Or
I want to push myself as much as I can and get the first title, second, third, and then yeah, it just becomes a bit of a collection now. So first things first is to become a champion, and then push on for more. So yeah, like I said, I'm in a position where I'm boxing for the enjoyment out of it. So the more I get out of it, the more fun I seem to be having. So it's all good.
As long as you're enjoying yourself, and that means that obviously when you enjoy yourself, it does not like feels like you're working. Then it actually just feels like you're doing something for fun, isn't it? So it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
And keeps it lighthearted. Anything else that you'd like to do before? Obviously, you hang the gloves up. Is there any other sort of titles that you sort of think, do you know what? I wouldn't mind doing that, or traveling abroad, perhaps again. I know you've done, Saudi, you've done Dubai. Is there sort of anywhere else you'd sort of like to?
I've been offered. Oh mate, my dream is to fight in Japan. I'd love to fight in Japan.
Okay.
I'm like a massive anime nerd, so I'd love to fight in Japan. Like come out to some anime intro or something. But anyway, one thing I would like to do before I finish fighting altogether is try my hands on MMA, get my ass handed to me, and then call it a day.
I'm sure I can help you with that one.
I'm not stupid enough to go into MMA thinking I'm going to be the bollocks. I can barely bloody kick. I remember the first time I ever got into a fight. I was about 16, little shit house, right? I big overhand right. This one kid, he dropped, and then I'm not proud of this. I tried to boot him whilst he's on the floor. I completely missed, fell over, and jumped over me. And he jumped on me and just started beating me up. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna stick to boxing. Uncle found out, and then absolutely gave me a bollocking, beat me up. So yeah.
Okay.
You live and you learn.
I'm sure there's plenty of MMA people that I can put you in contact with if you want to do that in a cage just once. Listen, I'm sure we can.
We'll have this conversation in a few years' time. In a few years' time, and then we'll go
in a few years' time, we'll see where we are. So okay, obviously, as you say, you've got your job outside of work. You've got the boxing career. You've got your license as well to coach and to do that as well. So I mean, you've got a lot of people there to work with as well. Is there a sort of a goal as well for that as well outside of once boxing is and you've handed up you've done that MMA? Yeah.
Well, obviously, I want my own stable of fighters. That'd be pretty fun. I can watch them get beaten up instead of getting beaten up myself. So, I don't. But anyway, yeah, I'd love to have my own stable of fighters and just push them as best as I can. Like boxing's given me an opportunity to grow as a person, not just as a fighter, but in person. And if I can give that opportunity to someone else, then yeah, fuck it, let's do it.
Helping those people who are perhaps struggling a little bit with their mental health or their physical health, like you said, then building that stable up as well. Any sort of thoughts into going into promoting or anything like that, or just watching, playing your part in the game?
No, not yet. I'd rather just play this side of it. I think once the furthest I'll go into that is management, and then I'll probably step aside at some point. We're probably talking about distant future.
Distance.
Yeah. So
that's fair enough.
Yeah.
And then outside of boxing, outside of the coaching thing, is this things that something that you want to get done or have put off perhaps because you have been focusing on the fight scene?
Not really. I just love boxing. So I was fair, my goal was always to make a life out of boxing, whether it be as a fighter or as a coach. And thankfully I'm in that position now. Yeah, I used to work in the surgery. Like bear in mind, I was working a 9 to 5, like most boxers actually are, working 9 to 5, training twice a day, training people, and thinking to myself, someday boxing is all I'm going to do, whether it be as a coach, as a fighter, or even both. And thank God I'm in that position now. I've been in that position for the past 2 years now. And I've just been enjoying every bit of it.
Oh, that's great that you believed in it, and now you've achieved it as well. So you're pushing that forward and following on. Perhaps there's scope as well to write some sort of anime, manga type boxing stuff. Who, out of curiosity,
you never know.
What is your favorite? What is your favorite manga or anime?
Attack on Titan.
Okay. I've been reading a bit of Kaiju 8 recently. Thanks to my son. We've been reading a bit of that.
Fair play.
Because we were playing Fortnite one night and he says, look, it's Kaiju 8 characters. And I was going, really clear.
Yeah.
He said, yeah, you bought me the book. I said, all right, okay, let me have a little read. So I read a little bit of the book.
I've seen that. That's not bad either, to be fair. It's not too bad.
He's into Blue Demon as well. Is it that one? And JoJo Adventures.
Blue Exorcist.
JoJo.
Blue Exorcist.
Blue
I
Exorcist.
think it's
That's
Blue
the one.
Exorcist. Yeah.
Yeah, not Demon. And then JoJo Adventures, which apparently when we went to Rome was hilariously funny for him because he just kept saying, "That's a JoJo reference, Dad." I was going, "Thanks."
Brilliant.
I love my boy. Fantastic. Well, lots to carry on with, lots of things to do. We have a little bit of a closing tradition here on the podcast, which is called your final round. And if I can bring it up on my little screen back here, we will do your final round. So, are you ready for the final round?
Let's go. Hit me.
Seconds out. Final round. Southpaw or orthodox?
Orthodox.
Body shots or headshots? Train alone or with a partner?
Alone.
Early bird or night owl?
Night out.
Heavy bag or speed bag?
Speed bag.
Underdog or favourite?
Underdog. Yeah, boy.
Boxing gym or out amongst the trees? Dry, yeah. Live in the UK. Short and powerful punches or long and technical game?
Long technical. I've been doing that for a bit.
Fight, yeah. Fight dirty, fight clean?
Clean. Well, I don't know. Clean.
What are you thinking there? Loud crowd or quiet atmosphere?
Loud crowd.
Quick knockout or strategic win?
Strategic win.
Hypothetical question, because at the moment it's still not signed. The paperwork is not. There's no ink on pens and anything like that. AJ or Fury?
Fury. I have to go with Fury. Only because my uncle's in the corner, so I have to support the family.
So, how do people follow you? How do they get involved in your journey? How do they be part of your?
Yeah, you can hit me up on Instagram, Sajid Abid. But to be fair, most of my socials are literally Sajid Abid, my name. I like to keep things simple because I'm a simple guy in it. So, yeah, Sajid Abid on all socials across the board.
So keep an eye out for upcoming future bouts. Hopefully a championship bout as well. Purse bids in to the board. Let's hope that comes off. Let's who is interested in that. Hopefully a big platform for you to be on as well. I think it's deserved for you to be on a big platform now at this stage of your career as well. So
appreciate my man.
I look forward to seeing that as well, and looking forward, hopefully, maybe, God willing, I might be there as an announcer.
Yeah.
That would be
fingers
an awesome
crossed.
place.
Fingers crossed.
Hopefully. Either that, we'll have to get you on a trilogy or something like that. But I'm sure I'll see you around anyway as well. So
100%, my man. Small. It's a small community. This boxing community, isn't it? Everyone knows everyone somehow.
Somehow we're all connected somehow, and we have our meets. Like I said, there's so many of these. We turn up at these shows, and there's like Xboxes, and there's coaches, trainers, seconds. Or everyone knows. We all know each other. We all try and get on with each other as best as possible. When we come to the business, though, the business in the ring, that's a different story. And we get the work done. So definitely fantastic. But thank you so much for coming on the Big Hype podcast. I wish you every success. I look forward to seeing that title hopefully come off. Whoever picks the highest, and I hope it works out. I hope it comes forward. If not,
you,
something else. I think something else will come away as well. So great.
Fingers crossed. But no, I appreciate it, my man. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Thanks for being on the Big Hype podcast tonight.
Anytime.
This has been a Big Hype production, edited and produced by Jonathan Millard, assisted by Riverside FM and distributed by Buzzsprout, available on all good podcast platforms. For more information, visit www.bighypepodcast.co.uk.